EasyBot. We are definitely moving forward and alleviating a lot of the headaches that some of us have experienced, guys. We definitely understand, people's frustration. We've been there. We've walked the same walk, guys. The only difference is the companies that we've worked with in the past, there was no transparency. Whenever you're involved in a startup, there are always going to be challenges at the very beginning. And we are working on overcoming every one of these challenges. And we're actually doing it a lot more quickly than we anticipated. There's some times where we're like, we just need a little bit more bandwidth. But everything's coming together really well. David, come on in, brother. And David is our Chief Operating Officer. He is, as you guys will see, he's brilliant. He's very transparent, open, and he's very detail-oriented. I'm the guy that shakes a lot of hands. I talk to people that are coming up and looking at our company and are joining our company. Can I say this, guys? Some of the biggest builders in the world have joined us, and they understand our challenges. There's no complaints. They actually love what we're doing. They love our transparency. And so, guys, if I can challenge anyone that's on the call right now that might have, had some negative feelings coming in, guys, don't let that control your financial destiny. We're here. We're going to serve you, and we love you. And so, David, come on in, brother, and love you, David. You're a good man, brother.
Thank you. Love you, Coach. Today's call is going to be short and sweet. We normally only do these calls on Mondays and Wednesdays. We've extended it to Friday to include Fridays just because there's so much going on, and we want to keep you guys up to date as often as possible. But we acknowledge a lot of you guys are celebrating Good Friday today. A lot of our membership is also in the middle of celebrating Ramadan. Lots of good things happening in the world. So we'll keep today's call relatively short. There are a couple of things that are happening. I think we've touched on a few of them on our Wednesday call. I'm really going to encourage you, if you weren't on our call Wednesday, go back and watch that recording. We talked about a lot of really important things on that call. So I'll reiterate some of those things, and then I'll give a couple of minutes for questions. So a few things that are important to know about some recent developments or recent happenings. The big thing that we announced on Wednesday is the Binance US is coming. We're going to release Binance US for our US members beginning next week. We don't have a day exactly just yet, but look for that to be released next week coming. And the reason we're telling you this in advance is two reasons. Obviously, we know we've been talking a lot about Coinbase. Number one, Coinbase is it is the second largest exchange that we could provide to users both in and outside of the U.S. that would solve for access for both of those populations. So we're committed to it. However, if you've been following us, you know that there are some challenges that we've not yet overcome to the degree that we feel confident releasing it into the membership. So we're getting closer. We're doing extensive testing every day. We're working through some of these issues and challenges. The technical team on the backside and the back end of the business is growing exponentially, and we have folks that are coming onto the team they're just totally focused on the development and expansion of exchanges. So we'll see that continue to roll out. Additional exchanges start to roll out faster and faster as we grow. Give it a little bit of time. They've got to understand the platform and how these things connect, but it is a core focus for us, and so that talent is coming on board. So while we work through some of the challenges with Coinbase, alongside that or parallel to that, we also went ahead and got Binance US developed, ready to go. It's going through some final testing. There are some nuances. One of the reasons that we went with Binance US is that it's very, very similar to the implementation we'd already done with Binance.com. It's not the exact same thing, but it was similar enough that we were able to move through it pretty quickly. There are some nuances that are different enough that we do need a few more days to get it dialed in and tested. But we're excited about being able to release that because we know that our U.S. customers, our U.S. members have been waiting for the opportunity to start trading. So we're excited to see that come next week. Again, Binance hopefully comes very shortly behind it, but we're not making any commitments as to a date on Coinbase just yet. But look for Binance next week. That's the big news. We announced that on Wednesday. Want to give you guys time that if you're waiting on the opportunity to trade, and if you're in the U.S., I'm going to tell you my preference or my recommendation is open a Binance.us account because it is going to save you on transaction fees. Binance US is the same transaction fees as you'll pay on Binance.com. It's 0.1%. And when you're trading, you might not recognize this. It's really small, but they add up over time. And Coinbase's fees are just considerably higher. So it's also one of the challenges that we're having in terms of programming as it pertains to Coinbase. So my recommendation is if you can, create a Binance.us account. Give yourself some time if you got to go through the KYC, the identity verification. For some people, for most people, that will be a very quick process. I've seen some folks go through it in a matter of hours. For some people, it could be days. And in some instances, it can take weeks. So just allow yourself as much time as possible to go ahead and create that account if you don't have one already. And if you do, then you want to make sure that you've got it funded with the amount that you want to start trading so that when it's released and available in your EasyBot back office, connect up the API, get going, and start trading. So that's the first thing, most important thing that we want you guys to be prepared for. You and your team members start spreading the word. The second thing is that if you go back into your wallet, we have removed the ERC20 options, USDT ERC20, and the USDC options for funding your EasyBot wallet. Now, we talked about this, and I prepped this on Wednesday's call. We're doing this and maybe a temporary removal, but right now, we have a situation where fees have just gotten out of control and we're getting a higher level of complaints that we're comfortable with. And it reflects poorly on us because we have a calculation that estimates the gas fees on the ERC20 network. And in some instances, those fees have superseded our estimations. And so it appears as though what we estimated and what they ended up in their wallet, that the assumption is going to be that EasyBot made a mistake somewhere. And we need to limit the number of support tickets that we're creating over a situation that we don't have control over. Our position has always been, and it really remains to be, that USDT TRC20 is the best network for you to use to fund your wallet because it's predictable in its fees and it is inexpensive and it moves quickly. It's very inexpensive. The fees aren't going to change, whereas compared to the ERC20 network, Ethereum's network, those fees are going to vary. They're unpredictable. It could be one thing today and something else later in the same day, depending on congestion and traffic.
I've seen them as high as $30 per transaction, yeah. And I've seen them, as low as $2.37. With TRC20 though, it's $1.
Yeah.
And $2.37. That was years ago, guys. I haven't seen anything below $10 in a long time. So, yes, this is a good move for everyone. TRC20 is fast and it's inexpensive, and that's why a lot of corporations are using that right now. It's why I believe in the coin, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for those of you who may only have a ERC20 wallet, I'm going to say two things to that. One is that welcome to crypto, and with that being said, this is a good time to start thinking about how you diversify access to or access points into crypto. If you're going to be in crypto, and we assume that if you're using EasyBot, you understand the importance of being in crypto. So this is one of the challenges of crypto. It's still not quite easy. Crypto in general isn't quite easy for folks just getting started. There's all of this segregation in different areas of crypto. So what we're going to encourage you to do is do some research. Grab your sponsor, grab somebody, ask us in support. We've got live support calls. Find a way to get a Tron wallet, a TRX wallet. And an alternative to that is you can use a bridge platform, something like Changely. If somebody can put a link to Changely, it's an app that you can use where you can send your ERC20 USDT through Changely, and it comes out the other side as TRC20. So couple of things that you can do. You got to get empowered so that you know how to move your crypto effectively. Again, if you're going to be in this space, it's going to be something you're going to come across over and over and over again. So let's figure it out now. Let's help you figure it out now. We want to make sure that you are able to get funds into your EasyBot wallet. Again, the only reason you're sending money to EasyBot, just so that we're all clear, your trading funds aren't coming into EasyBot. The only thing you're sending to your EasyBot wallet is for one of two reasons. You want to upgrade to a paid subscription, the advanced or VIP package, and or you are paying for the software service fees. You want to load your wallet so that there are funds there to pay your software service fees. The funds that you want to put in for software service fees, we recommend about 5% of whatever you're trading. So it's a nice round number. If you're trading $1,000 in your Binance or Coinbase or whatever your exchange account is, if you're trading $1,000, then you're going to want to put something like $50 in your EasyBot wallet to cover software service fees. And of course, that needs to be replenished. If you're building a team and referring others, that'll take care of your replenishment. If you're not, then you got to keep an eye on that wallet and make sure that you have software service fees covered. So that's the only thing that you need it there for. It's not a transaction you're going to do very often, so it's worth a little bit of effort. If you don't have a TRC20 wallet now, it's maybe a little bit more effort for you, but it'll save you money and frustration in the long run. So that's the other thing.
The good thing is if it was easy, that means everybody would already be in, and the prices of all these tokens would be much higher. We are here right now at the beginning of a massive run. Cryptocurrency was only invented back in 2009. So, guys, this is a fresh space. Full adoption's coming. It's still a little bit challenging to overcome some of these ways of gaining and getting crypto. But other than that, once you're in crypto, I got in 2017. It's very easy once you're in. So, guys, just encourage you, go out and get yourself some Tron TRC20. I said Tron, but it's USDT on the Tron chain, TRC20. So go out and get your TRC20, USDT TRC20, and then you can move it into your EasyBot to purchase the advanced or the VIP package. That said, though, you're also going to need TRC20, or not TRC20, just USDT to trade the bot uses USDT to trade the other pairs. So it doesn't necessarily have to be TRC20 at that point. It's just USDT. So once you have that, once you've purchased a bot, you also have to have a compatible exchange. We recommend right now, if you are in a state, and it's like 45 of the 50 states, you can use Binance.us. We will have a solution for the other states, but guys, let me just share one thing with you. When we were doing this a year ago, we never got an exchange for the U.S. But at that time, you can use a VPN. Can't do that now. So we are definitely working on your behalf, and we're going to cover all 50 states. You can be assured of that. So, okay?
Yeah, one other thing, too, is we're talking about deposits. One of the things that we see happen maybe more often than we like, so we'll do a better job outlining this in our process. But so everybody's aware, you can share this with those that you're introducing to EasyBot. When you're doing a deposit, the deposit address that you're getting is a one-time use only address. Please, please, please do not reuse those addresses. It just is going to go into Never Never Land, and you're going to end up sending a support ticket that's going to take up a bunch of time and energy for us to go research and try to capture those funds for you. So every single time you want to make a deposit, you want to go through that deposit process in your back office. Go through your wallet, hit deposit, and you're going to get a unique new deposit address that you're going to send your funds to. So I know a lot of you guys are using wallets. Crypto.com, for example, is a good example of a wallet that makes you whitelist an address, and so now it's saved in there. But don't use that, please. Don't reuse the address because it is not going directly into your EasyBot account, your EasyBot wallet. All right. A couple questions popping up about USDT TRC 20. Yeah, we don't want to use Tron, not TRX. You want to make sure it's USDT that you're sending to your EasyBot wallet. All right, one other thing that you guys are seeing happen here is if you are pre-qualified for Founders Club, I want to see a show of hands, those of you guys who are on the call have seen this in your back office. Give me a show of hands if you have seen that pre-qualified notification in your back office. If you are pre-qualified for Founders Club, you should be seeing that now. When you go into your back office, you click on my organization or affiliate. I forget what it actually says. But when it takes you into your organization, you'll see right under your name, Founders Club pre-qualified with a red badge. Junior, good. Brand, great. Michael, great. All right, awesome. So guys, if you haven't seen it yet, go into your back office. You know, if you've been building and you think that you're pre-qualified, make sure that, thank you, Susan, Affiliate Center. Link actually says Affiliate Center. Go into your back office, check there, and that will let you know whether or not you have been pre-qualified. You're holding a spot in Founders Club. We definitely have some spots available, over 300 spots available, so please, if you are interested in qualifying for Founders Club, and I hope if you're here on this call, you understand why you should be, talking about a pool that's 5% of all EasyBot revenue in perpetuity, forever and ever and ever. We are at the very beginning of something that we anticipate building for years and years and years to come. And as that revenue of this company continues to grow, as we continue to open up new markets and bring in tens of thousands of new users, all that revenue, a portion of it, 5% of it, gets shared into a pool. And there's 1,000 people that get to participate in sharing that pool. And Coach has said a number of times that he believes that that pool, participation in that pool alone, could represent retirement income. So, guys, please don't miss that opportunity. There are a few hundred spots left available, and we want to make sure that if you're here right now, the reason we're doing Founders Club is because we're launching a company. We're launching a company that has some very technical capabilities, some very massive, powerful technical capabilities, and we understand that as we launch and scale up this company, there might be some bumps along the way. And those of you who are building with us and supporting and trading and going through those experiences, helping us to fine-tune by sharing some of the challenges or some of the issues that you're having. As we get all of that dialed in and it's smooth sailing just a few months down the road where all these things are no longer even, they're a distant memory, those of you who participated in this short period of time with us as we launched this company, we want to reward you for that forever. Because the foundation that we're building today is what we're going to build this massive company on. And if it weren't for you guys, if it weren't for you ladies and gentlemen who are here on this journey with us, there would be no company. And so it's a massive reward. I think it's an outsized reward for the work and the effort that's put in. The only thing you've got to do to qualify for Founders Club is be a VIP member, share EasyBot with 3 people who are either advanced or VIP, and help them to do the same. And eventually you'll need to also make sure that all of those qualifying positions are also trading. We can get on into all those details, but make sure that you are focused on Founders Club. It is a massive, massive opportunity, and those spots are going quickly. All right, Founders Club, Sean plays monthly. It will pay, once we fill up all the spots at Founders Club, once it's all closed up, then it will pay, and it will pay from day one, by the way. So all the revenue generated by EasyBot from day one, it will pay, and it will pay out monthly the first week of the following month. So, great question.
David, can you share what is happening right now with the software service fee commissions?
It was actually, I don't, if you guys may have seen it, it actually got published for just a quick minute yesterday, and we noticed there was a slight issue in calculation, so we took it down. So team is actually rerunning those commissions as we speak, and you should see those hopefully today or tomorrow. So software service fees for the month of March are being published as we speak, and then we're paying these out every 2 weeks. So the next round of software service fees should be coming shortly behind that for the first 2 weeks of April. So that's coming shortly.
Okay, perfect.
I saw a question also about...
Yeah.
Yep, a question about the organization. So we're actually we're recalculating the way the organization, the data tables in the organization chart works, just to make sure that the page loads faster. As you guys can imagine, you have 20 organizations. As the global organization has grown, pulling all of that data every time you open that page just slows a lot of the processes down on the back end. So we're redoing, they're reprogramming the way that data is populated or is pulled from the system. And so for the next couple of days, that should be live back in your back office. Give it to the middle of next week or so, and we will have it reprogrammed so that it pulls up and it doesn't slow the experience on the page down. So that's what's happening there. Just ask for a little bit of patience while we reprogram that.
Guys, for those of us that have large organizations, what David's talking about is when you open it up, there is a timer circle that just keeps going and going and going, then finally it'll populate. And their solution right now is you can go through each level, but I know on mine I can only go to level 8. It adds up. Each level keeps adding up how many people on your team. So they are working on that right now. Awesome.
All right. Does the Binance reopen when we had Eazy Buy? Jerome Lopez, I'm not sure what your question is, sir. You want to unmute? While you come on in, Jerome, Drew, I'll address your question about Binance support. Here's what I'll tell you, Drew, about Binance. I haven't found, this is my personal experience. None of these exchanges have great support. None of them. I mean, crypto just isn't designed to be, consumer support heavy. It really is designed to be a space where you own the asset and you own control over the asset. It's the give and take of crypto. You know, the reason that banking systems charge you money for holding your funds is because they've got to have a bunch of employees that provide a level of service in exchange for, holding your money and giving you access to all the services they provide. Crypto is very different. You can have an exchange like Binance, largest exchange in the world, that just has a few dozen employees. I think they're probably beyond that today, but for a long time it was just a handful of employees and most exchanges are like that run off of a very, very small base of customers, especially compared to the banking system. So our expectation, just in general, this isn't just to you, Drew, but just in general, our expectations, in terms of dealing in crypto, it's just going to be where you've got to really, really pay attention to what you're doing. We can do a lot of service for ourselves by being really cautious, being really slow, double checking, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, especially anytime you're moving money into or out of an exchange. We can avoid a lot of challenges, a lot of issues and headaches if we just slow down a little bit, make sure that you're reading instructions, and ask for help when you need it. If you're uncertain about something, ask for help. Because the truth of the matter is, none of these exchanges are going to give you great customer service. I found some are better than others, but most of them are just not equipped to provide a high level of customer service. All right. Dynasty Builder says, remember everyone, there is zero breakage. So, again, do what we can. Just build our teams. It's a Founders Club and NOAA systems are going live. Checks are increasing. You are not losing. The check is growing if we just keep sharing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything that's happening as we are growing as an organization, it all comes back to you. So this is, I think, really a very unique opportunity as a company. We are interested and committed to sharing as much with those of you who are building with us as possible. So just keep going. Just keep going. All right, Jerome, were you able to come in or clarify your question? Oh, you're asking about Mapbot. Jerome, I can't talk to you about Mapbot right now, so reach out to somebody in your, you know who to reach out to for help when a question on Mapbot.
Actually, a question was, can he use the same Binance account that he was using for the other bot, which was Mapbot?
Got it.
And that has to do with, the policy changes with Binance. If you're in the U.S., Binance.com, you can no longer use a VPN for that. You have to be a verified customer or client for Binance.com. But if you are in the U.S., that's why we're adding Binance.us. So you will have to move your assets out of Binance.com if you can no longer use it.
Got it. Drew, I saw your follow-up. Yeah, I would tell Drew, my best answer to you is keep trying. Sometimes persistence really pays off in dealing with these exchanges. So just keep going at it if you can. Does one-click strategy work with ERC20 stable tokens? Yeah, the strategy is independent of the base token. Right now, the base tokens that we're using are in. Well, let me answer it this way. The network of the token only matters when the token is in transit, right? So when we're talking about ERC, TRC, it could be BEP20, Solana. These are transit networks. How the funds move from one place to another. So it's like, you've got you want to send something from New York to California. You can get it there through FedEx or UPS or the Postal Service for those of us in the U.S. Or airmail or whatever the case may be. There's a number of different ways that you can get the same document from one place to the next. And so that's what these networks are. Once it arrives at its destination, once USDT is sitting in your exchange account, it's really not on any particular network. It's just that token that you're trading. So the network really doesn't come into play in the sense of trading. Hope that makes sense.
I think that was a great analogy. It's like a Brinks truck or Loomis or other money transporting truck.
Yep.
That's what your different chains are. Is what it would be like. You got the Tron chain, the Pep chain. So, yeah.
All right. Any other questions? We want to keep this call short today. I guess the question is small amount scalpel strategy or negate the fees, negate the gains. I'm not sure the question you're asking there, Isaac, or if you're asking about the fees on transit moving the funds into the account. I'm not really sure. If you want to jump in and unmute and ask your question, I'll be happy to try to clarify. Remus update on the funnel system. We are doing integrations next week. Server migration, we talked about this on Wednesday, so that's a good question. Server migrations in its final stages of completion. All the delays, we've had some delays in our server migration, really primarily because we've had some issues. One of the biggest issues we had to face in the last couple of weeks is a change in the way that Binance provides access to their API. It really is a major change that changes the fundamental way the bot functions. And so the team has had to do a lot of programming to account for that. Some of you guys have seen the 1200 error that comes up. That's an effect. That's a side effect of Binance's change in their API access. Sometimes you've seen the bot will stop taking trades as expected. All of that is as a result of a change in Binance's API access. So we're making these core changes in the way that the bot reads and distributes information with Binance's API or with API in general, because we're accounting for this in future build outs with other exchanges. So that's a pretty core change to the way the bot functions. So we're completing that change before we move some of the last pieces of the server over to its new environment. So once that's completed, then our integrations start. That should happen next week. And once those integrations come into play, then we'll see the integration you're asking about is our marketing system. And so that we anticipate. I don't want to tell you it's going to launch next week. We anticipate doing integrations next week, and then we'll get it launched as quickly after that as possible. It could be as early as next week, but probably planned for the week after would be a safe bet.
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Sure can. Who's that?
This is Isaac.
Isaac. Hey, Isaac.
Well, first off, thanks for taking my question. I appreciate all that you guys are doing to put this amazing company together. So this question really rises from my ignorance about trading. Like, I'm not a trader. I'm more of a networker. So the ERC20 stablecoins, I guess what the exchanges that don't support TRC20, I guess my question is, when you're trading the stablecoin with Ethereum or the stablecoin with Aave or whatever the case may be. If it's an ERC20 stablecoin, you don't have to pay the fees for each trade. I guess that was the question. So not when you're,
Got it.
I wasn't really asking about when you're like funding your account, but more those individual trades that are happening throughout the day. When you're trading on a non-TRC20 capable exchange, you're not paying those fees.
Yeah, good question. So fees are, going back to the example I gave of moving that document from one location to another. So there are transit fees. I'm calling them transit fees. They're called different things, but let's call them transit fees. That's when it matters whether you're using FedEx or DHL or UPS or whatever that method is. All of those carriers will have their own unique fee structure. Now, when you're trading, you're on the platform, and the platform has trading fees. And so the platform's trading fees, for example, Binance's trading fees, every time you buy and sell an asset on their platform, they charge 0.1%. If you're using BNB, it's 0.075%. So two different sets of fees altogether: transit fees and trading fees. They're not the same.
So when you're trading on an exchange, you're saying that you're not actually moving coins. The exchange is doing that for you. So you're not paying the normal network fee that you would pay. I didn't know that. That's the revelation for me. So I appreciate you clearing that up.
That's a great question.
And that was. Let me just tag on that. The BNB coin, Isaac, that is Binance's own coin, and if you use their own coin for the fees, they give you additional like 25% off. So, but once you're in, you've moved it with your armored car, so to speak, of your choice, and that's the different chain that you run that through to get it over to the exchange. So, and different armored car services have armored car prices. And we're just using that as an analogy. David said, FedEx or the Postal Service or, UPS. So, those are just different analogies. You pay for those services. The ERC20 service is very high. And, so that's why we use the TRC20 service. It's $1 for the Tron chain. So, same thing though, USDT. And once you get the USDT in your exchange, then any trading fees, that's what the exchange charges, and it's much lower. So.
Thank you, Coach. All right, Bryn asked a good question. Will the base currency on Binance US be USDT or USDC? Excuse me. Binance.us does not offer USDC. It's either USDT or USD, US dollars. So you can actually trade the US dollar against different currencies, different altcoins, or you can trade USDT. At launch, we'll only offer the option to trade USDT, which is identical to what we're doing right now in Binance.com. So we may, at some point, if it makes sense, also offer the ability to trade against the US dollar. There's some disadvantages to that we won't go into on this call, but it is the alternative that we could offer. We could also offer the alternative to trade against BNB, their stable coin, but they don't have a lot of options right now. I think it's just a handful that we could offer. So there'll be some additional options is the point of that story, but right now it'll be USDT. All right, great questions. Anybody else before we call it a day? All right, guys. Hopefully this has been informative. Our next call, Peter and Breezy tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, same address. And tomorrow we will do our Business Builders call. Business Builders is focused on those who are building teams. We're going to bring some folks to come share their experiences and insights with you. It's specifically a call designed to talk about the affiliate side, the reward side of sharing EasyBot with others. We are a product-focused company, so we really want to talk about the product on our presentation calls and our corporate update calls. And our Saturday calls is where we'll dive into any questions that you have about team building, about compensation plan, anything like that. That's the call that you want to be on. That's the call you want to bring your teams to. So we'll really get laser focused on all things pertaining to team building. So join us there. And that call is tomorrow morning. For some of us, it's 11 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. So for those of you who are celebrating Good Friday, Ramadan, enjoy your celebration.
Passover as well.
Passover, yeah. Enjoy all of these amazing celebrations. Enjoy your Friday, and take care of the ones that you love. Take care of yourself first. Thanks, everyone.
God bless you. We'll see y'all. Love you more than Bitcoin and pizza combined, guys.